Welcome to the Explainer. All right, let's talk to you Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. We're going to dive deep and break down everything you absolutely need to know before this thing drops.
So, here's the game plan. First, we'll get a handle on the brand new chaotic status quo. Then, we're untangling the deadly rules of the culling game. After that, we're going to play detective and decode the secrets hidden in the opening. And finally, we'll ask a big question. Can the anime actually surpass the manga?
Okay, let's dive right in. Section 1, the new status quo. And to put it mildly, after the Shibuya incident, the world of Jujutsu sorcerers is an absolute wreck. You know, this quote right here just nails it. The tone of this season is dark. It's a brutal, strategic game of chess where every single move could get you killed. All the old rules, they're out the window. There's a massive power vacuum, and you better believe everyone is scrambling to fill it. So, to put it simply, the Jujutsu world is in a complete freefall. First, Satoru Gojo, the one guy who held everything together, is sealed. What's the first thing the higher-ups do? Of course, they reinstate Yuji's execution order. And who do they call to do the job? None other than Yuta Okotsu. All while the real big bad, Kenjaku, finally puts his terrifying master plan into motion. Now this is where things get really clever. See, Yuta is bound by a vow to the higher-ups. He has to kill Yuji. So what does he do? He does it. He stabs Yuji right through the heart, contract fulfilled. But here's the loophole the old guys didn't see coming. Yuta is a master of reverse curse technique, so he kills Yuji and then immediately heals him, bringing him right back to life. He played the system perfectly. It is classic JJK.
All right, on to the main event of the season, the culling game. This is Kenjaku's masterpiece, a battle royale with insane stakes and some seriously complicated rules. So the key thing to get here is that this isn't just some tournament. It is a forced, ritualistic deathmatch designed to change the world forever. Kenjaku isn't doing this for kicks. He's using the massive amount of cursed energy from all this slaughter to trigger a forced evolution, merging all of humanity with the Sorcerer Tengen. It's wild.
These first rules make one thing crystal clear. You don't get a choice. You have to play. Once your curse technique is awakened, you have 19 days to enter a designated colony. If you refuse, your technique is ripped away from you, which is just a fancy way of saying you die. And to make it even worse, if you're just a normal person who happens to be inside a colony's border, tough luck, you're a player now too. And this right here tells you everything you need to know about Kenjaku's twisted philosophy. In his game, a sorcerer's life is worth 5 points. A non-sorcerer, only 1. It's a disgusting system, but it's also designed to speed things up by giving players a huge incentive to hunt down the strongest opponents for the biggest rewards. Now, these last rules add a bit of strategy, but let's be real, Kenjaku is always in control. If you manage to scrape together 100 points, you can add a new rule. That sounds like a way to fight back, right? Well, Kenjaku can veto any rule he doesn't like. And the last rule is the most brutal of all. If your score doesn't change for 19 days, you're eliminated. You can't hide, you kill, or you die. End of story. Okay, let's shift gears from the plot to the artistry for a bit, because the season's opening sequence isn't just an opening, it's basically a moving art gallery where every single frame is packed with clues about what's coming. The first major clue you'll spot is a direct reference to this classic painting, Ophelia. It's a famous, beautiful, and deeply unsettling depiction of a tragic death, and it's our first hint at a major sacrifice. So the show frames Mai Zainin in a pose that directly mirrors Ophelia. The key thing about the painting is that Ophelia isn't fighting, she's surrendering to her fate. By using this image, the anime is telling us that Mai's sacrifice isn't going to be some big heroic climax. It's a quiet, inevitable exchange, a choice she has already made, her life for her sister Maki's true power. Next up, we have this deeply unsettling reference to an expressionist painting called Dead Mother. And trust me, it's here to completely rewrite how we think about Yuji Itadori's origin story. This visual parallel is just chilling. The original painting shows the womb not as a place of warmth, but as a space of dread and suffocation. By putting Yuji inside his mother, who we know was possessed by Kenjaku, the opening is basically screaming at us that his creation was completely unnatural. Yuji wasn't born, he was engineered. He was built inside a prison for a specific purpose. And for our last piece, we have this incredible reference to a classic Japanese woodblock print. These prints often show legendary heroes in moments of pure defiance, and this one is no different. It is a powerful declaration of war. Maki's pose here isn't just about looking cool, it's a visual promise of vengeance. The original print tells the story of a man killing a tiger out of grief and rage against a superior power. So in this context, the tiger symbolizes the entire oppressive Zenin clan. Maki's stance is a direct promise that she is coming to dismantle the very system that crushed her and her sister.
Okay, for our final section, let's explore a really compelling idea: the anime's potential to not just adapt the source material, but to actually elevate it. There's one huge moment coming up that could go from a great manga scene to an absolutely legendary anime sequence.
Maki's rampage against her own family immediately draws comparisons to one of the most infamous moments in anime history, the Uchiha massacre. Both involve a character wiping out their own clan, but while Itachi's act was a tragic sacrifice for the greater good, Maki's is a brutal, cathartic act of pure liberation and revenge.
But here's a key critique of how this went down in the manga. While it's visually spectacular and thematically satisfying, it all happens pretty fast. We see Maki get her power up, and we see the results, but a lot of the Zenin clan members she cuts down are basically just nameless, faceless obstacles.
This is where MAPPA has a golden opportunity. They can add anime original scenes to develop these clan members, making their deaths hit so much harder. Imagine if we got to see a little more of characters like Runta or Jinichi. What if we saw that some of the Zenins didn't agree with the clan's toxic traditions? By giving these people even a little more screen time, their deaths would carry so much more weight, turning Maki's rampage from a simple power fantasy into a genuine heartbreaking tragedy.
And that leaves us with one last big question. If the anime adds this depth, could the Zenin massacre rival or maybe even surpass the sheer tragic impact of the Uchiha massacre? Can an adaptation actually perfect its source material? I guess we'll just have to watch and find out. Thanks for joining me.